and welcome to The Big Fight. This is a special edition coming to you from Mumbai. It's sometimes said about TV channels that all they're doing is chasing TRPs, and that unfortunately may well be true. It's sometimes said about the Mumbai film industry that it's about a formula, it's about having those big production houses, multi-starrers and formula films, and that's all that really does well. And the other saying, hang on, that's not quite fair, because the Mumbai film industry is producing a lot of different films and many of them are also doing well. So what is the truth behind what it really takes to be successful in the Mumbai film industry? And we've assembled some of the top filmmakers in the country to help us take it through that. We also have with us Ayushmann Khurrana, needs very little other introduction, actor, singer, writer. You're not a filmmaker just yet, but maybe by next week you could well be. So, you know, it's great to have you with us. Kunal Kohli, great to have you with us as well. Sudhir Mishra, filmmaker and actor. We have Ali Abbas Zafar, who's directed some really exciting works out there. Mayank Shekhar is a film critic who's going to comment on all of this for us. And we're also being joined briefly by Madhur Bhandarkar. Thank you all so much for being with us. Let me cut straight to the chase first. Is it all about the big formula film? Is that what it takes to be successful in the Hindi film industry?
I think in this era, I think either superscript or superstar works. If you have a formula, then you have to have a superstar in it. That's what I believe in. And with my films, I think one Vicky Dona and Dum Laga Ke Aisha, both were not formula films, they were script-driven films. So I guess they were less marketed also, and they had kind of a staggered release. And I think in this era, it's either a superstar or a superscript.
Superstar or superscript, one or the other. Kunal?
Well, I started my career with a film with a superstar, with Hrithik Roshan, and there was Rani Mukherjee, and there was Kareena Kapoor, Mujhse Dosti Karoge, and the film didn't work. And then I made a film with Saif and Rani, Hum Tum, which was a big hit. And so, you know, well, I had a superstar, the film didn't work, and when I made Hum Tum, Saif was not a big star. He was, you know, doing more second lead and third leads and things like that in Dil Chahta and Kal Ho Na Ho. But a solo blockbuster hit from him hadn't come. And the first was Hum Tum. So, well, what can I say?
I think we are at a very interesting cusp, you know. I mean, I think there is, like you see a film like Badlapur. Now he sort of, you know, plays with the whole idea of the hero. He makes a really interesting film. So I think even the superstar film today will have to have another take. It will have to give the audience something more. Whether it's the action of Rohit Shetty or the real sheer, almost poetic sensibility of a Raju Hirani. You know, I mean, of a guy who takes an issue and then plays with it and has the ability to engage. So I think it's getting to be more and more filmmaker driven. I think the typical formula film is at its last gasp.
The last gasp of the big formula film.
I mean, in the typical way, if you start making films with contempt for the audience, which is not to say that the big star will not work, or that some films which are formulaic yet done with elan, with a flair, will not work. So I mean, I think it's the only problem for independent cinema, and I think we are all independent in the head. So we don't have formulas like Raju Hirani is different from Anurag Kashyap, is different from Sudhir Mishra, is different from Kunal Kohli. Today, I mean, there is every filmmaker. It's very interesting that the parallel cinema, that much maligned, the younger filmmakers from the mainstream have taken something from it. So if you look at the casting, if you look at the detailing, if you look at many things that the formula, so-called in quotes, formula filmmakers do, the cynicism comes from the money makers. The cynicism comes from the money people who still believe, and I think they are a bit behind the audience.
Okay, so you've given us lots to think about. I'm going to come back to some of those themes. Ali, let me get you in very quickly first.
I think I kind of agree with Sudhir. According to me, story is the star. The scripts are the stars. And it also kind of, you know, like we have to be very clear about what is a successful film. Is the numbers that are posted on box office is the only criteria to make a successful film? Or is it a story that reaches out to an audience and finds his audience is a successful film. There are two different kinds of films getting made in the industry. There are films which are driven by content. There are films that are driven by the stars. One are posting numbers, one are kind of making credible films which has long shelf life. I think that is where the industry is standing right now, and I think we are fortunate enough to be in that time that we can choose what to make.
Okay, so can I have a quick one line from each of you on reaction to that before I come to you, Mayank? At the end of the day, what should decide the success of a film? Should it be the overall top line that the film made? Should it be the profitability of the film, or should it be I made a really good film and I told a great story and now I'm bankrupt, but doesn't matter, I still did what I wanted to do?
I think it has to be the natural connect of the script with the masses, with the audience, with the
storytelling.
Storytelling.
Even if you're bust and you're broke at the end of the film, it's still okay. Kunal, would you agree with that?
I think it's a very tough call. There's an argument for both. Yash Chopra, one of the greatest filmmakers, two of his most successful films over time were Lamhe and Silsila, which did not do well at the box office at all. So there's a case to be made for both.
Okay.
No, I mean, I really think that at this moment, the only way I can make a film is by trusting myself and making the film that I am capable of making. Now, I'm not naive, so if I think I'm making a slightly more esoteric or a slightly more marginal film, then I should keep the budget down. I think the budgets are the key to what film you can make.
That's a really interesting point. I want to come back to that, because you could theoretically lose a lot of money even if you earn 100 crores, if you made the film for 130 crores, you're in trouble. And so that has to come in. Okay, let me just get you in on what constitutes success.
No, I mean, it's an industry to start with. It employs a lot of people. They need to be paid salaries. I think the basic barometer that any film industry applies to a film is if it was a commercially successful film or not, regardless of its artistic merit, because that is always subjective. But I think the big paradox, I think, within that industry then is a lot of the times the producer is slapped by the audience for making a good film. At the same time, nobody knows which bad movie is going to work.
Define good film. Like,
so,
again, what do you mean by good film?
So
because sometimes what you hear, oh, this is a really good film, it's a great art film.
So,
sometimes they're boring as hell, let's be frank.
Correct.
You have a 10-minute shot of a fan revolving and it's supposed to be great cinema.
Nobody does that anymore. Nobody can get away with it.
You want to bet?
So I'm saying, I mean, obviously the primary purpose of a film will have to engage you, will have to entertain you, right? So I'll give you an example, say a movie from 2014 called the Rajat Kapoor movie. Aankho Dekhi. Now, I have not met a single person who has not loved that film. It's funny, it's entertaining, but when it came out of the theaters, no one even knew about it. So clearly, there is that disconnect, because you want a film to look a certain way, you want to see a certain star, there needs to be a certain fashion, there needs to be a certain location. So there is a perception in the mind of the audience, and I think we can keep blaming the film.
I'm going to get the audience in also to weigh in on some of this. Now, let's go to we have special guests. Let's go across to them. And Madhur Bhandarkar, let me get you in on the basic question of whether big production houses and formula films are ruling the roost in Bollywood. And you have said, Madhur, in the past that, yeah, that's what it is. There's some sort of an understanding between big production houses and stars, and they come together and really decide which film does well and doesn't do well. Is that true, and could you elaborate on that?
See, basically there's a very mutual understanding between the production house and the actor. And obviously actors also wants to do film which it is more than 100 crore club, and the more eyeballs which they get at the box office. So I think it's a very mutual thing. There's nothing wrong in it, because big cinema, big blockbuster cinema always been there from the time the film industry started, and it will always be there. Small film will be also there, big film will be also there, blockbuster film is also there. So I don't think there is something called they come together, but there's nothing wrong, because the actors also want to be producer, because they feel there's so much of turnover of money coming, the movie making good business overseas also. So there is absolutely a healthy thing between the production house and the actor. They want to come and produce the film, and they feel the budget they can control the whole economics of the film and rake up more moolah.
Is it about story, scripts, acting, or is it about marketing? And that's a broader theme that I think we need to look at.
See, I think any film require all kind of things. If there is good actors, at the same time you require the kind of marketing also to market the film today. If today you see there is so much of social media, Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, so many way of communication to the people. And today when you see 24/7 news, so many things going in the nation and in state, different and world over, so many channels are there. So there you have to make your presence strong. Okay, your movie, your film is coming, the audience has to see, because there's so many things going on in day-to-day life of people. So there you have to make your awareness, this is my film is coming, which I have to be there. So it's stars, when you see today's stars, they go to so many reality shows, so many comedy shows, they go because they want to make the presence feel oh, we are there. Because nowadays, you know, when you sign a big star, at the same time, there is a marketing proposal also which comes to you with the agreement. After the film gets over, so you are going to give me, these are the dates, like we are going to go to Calcutta, Bangalore, Bombay, Delhi, Hyderabad, these are the dates, these are the reality show we have to attend, these are the things we have to do. And big stars also, they do go on reality show and do these kind of things. So awareness is definitely necessary, and it's a big tool. It has to be done there. Smaller film, smaller actor, niche cinema, definitely they have to go a little extra mile than the bigger star. So it is definitely there. But again, there are a lot of films which we say, oh my God, big stars are there, big songs are there. They have sometimes crashed at the box office. And sometimes you feel the film very underdog, which didn't have too much of publicity, money also to publicize the film. Still slowly, mutually, it grown on the audience, and it has been a blockbuster also. So both kind of things are there. But yeah, definitely, it is a small film or a big film. You have to have these kind of things also, resources in terms of social media, in terms of your television, reality show, everything is a combined bouquet of everything which has to go to the audience and make it reach, oh my God, this is my movie coming.
Fine, Madhur, before you leave us, any thoughts on the trends ahead?
I think in industry, there's a major revamp in every 5 years. So there's very difficult to think how the trend changes, because anything works. Suddenly now there's an upsurge of women-centric cinema, and people are saying women-centric cinema works. I know how difficult it was for me to make a Chandni Bar for 1.5 crore that time, 2001. So it was so difficult to, now everybody wants to make women-centric cinema. So trend keeps changing. Sometimes suddenly there will be candy floss cinema, suddenly there will be a realistic cinema, suddenly there will be a zone where you feel want to make comedy. So I think it differs a lot. It's basically, it's never like that. Sometimes you see in 1 week there's an action film, also comedy film, both has worked at the box office. So it's very difficult to say what trend continues. I think good cinema, good content, strong story orientation will definitely work at the box office.